So first and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and jump in and show you the website that I'm going to get you set up with. I
Okay.
believe you might already have a login. It's really kind of neat.
I do. I get text or emails from it.
So what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll sign some things for you to look at.
Okay.
What the Craig Willigans agency does is they are the largest insurance agency in Georgia,
Okay.
and they're just with Allstate.
Wow.
So it's not a brokerage. It's nothing, nothing special. The reason he was able to have so much success is he really focused his team on what's called value-based selling. Value-based selling is selling like on the product compared to on the price.
Okay.
So you're getting to the point now to where you know how to sell insurance. What I have to teach you now is how to determine the difference between we need to sell on price and we need to sell on value.
Okay.
And I have a couple examples I already pulled the calls for, and we're going to listen to and go over.
Okay.
So the first guy we're going to pull is Dennis. Nope, that's Timothy. All right.
Hello?
Hi, is this Timothy?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Timothy. My name is Sejla. I'm with Farmers Insurance. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Good. I was giving you a call. It looks like either you or Sandra spoke to somebody in the past on the marketing team here, and we recently took a price decrease and just wanted to see if we could save you guys some money on your auto insurance.
Now you're going to pause for a couple seconds. What I would actually like to see you do is then immediately transition into verifying information. Like, hey, are you still with Allstate? Are you still with, Safeco? All right, do you still have these vehicles? Because
Okay.
he's going to give you a yes and then you do it. But I think that gives a customer the opportunity to say no and get out of the way.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You see?
I do. I feel like I always ask for like.
Permission.
Yeah.
And you don't really need to in that scenario. And I'm actually going to play another call from Shannon
Okay.
that he does something very similar. But you could see that he just transitions, and it's just a little bit of a smoother transition.
I have you guys at 4500 Green Valley in High Ridge.
Yes.
Okay, and it's just you and Sandra as the drivers?
Yes.
Okay. And then the three vehicles that pulled up for me were 2017 Ram 1500, 2007 Dodge Caravan, and a 2015 Buick Encore. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I just went ahead and I compared to what you guys currently have.
Okay, perfect. This right here, we know that we can already pull up their current coverages. So you've delivered some information. The guy's not being a jerk, is he?
No.
He's not really rushing you out the phone. He's not giving you a ton of information, just
Right.
saying yes or no, yes or no.
Yeah.
I think this would be a really awesome opportunity to put in what's called a call to action. A call to action or like a shock and awe moment. So you can simply do this by stating, can you tell me about your current coverage limits?
Okay.
And what they're going to say in that scenario. Here, let's pitch and catch. So pretend you're this person,
Okay.
and I say, all right, Sheila, tell me about your current coverage limits.
I feel like some of them aren't sure, but okay, I could just be like, I have the 100,000, 300,000.
No. Think even dumber. You
Okay.
sell insurance, so
Okay.
they're probably going to say, I got full coverage,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So, well, yeah, no, I don't mean actually full coverage, but I'm actually talking about your bodily injury limits, your split limits. Do you know
Okay.
what those are?
Not a clue.
All right, well, I'm going to be honest with you, Shayla. That's really important to know because that is what protects you in the event of a car accident to where somebody can come after you, sue you. When was the last time you had a conversation with your agent about your coverages and your limits?
I just went online, filled something out. Not really sure.
So you actually haven't even talked to your agent or had anybody
No,
explain
sir.
to you the difference. Okay. The reason I bring this up is because we had an incident occurred at our agency a couple years ago to where somebody was going down 270, got involved in a car accident. It was a multi-car accident, and there was like 3 vehicles involved. Nobody was like severely maimed or nothing like that, but they ended up finding out that our insured was at fault, so we ended up having to pay out the claim, and it was about $80,000. Now, if they had state minimum limits, and they had, let's say the accident was $100,000, and you only had $25,000 in coverage, how much would you be on the hook for?
Right, 75,000.
I mean, that's a lot of money. Nobody's got that kind of money lying around.
Right.
So it's important to make sure that we don't have those gaps in coverage that you could potentially have. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
and then boom, you just
So
keep
you're
going. But
making-
did you
yeah.
feel the call to action?
Yes, and I felt, like, wow, thank you for informing me. I wasn't, educated on
Exactly.
this. And yep, I like
With
that.
$500,000 limit.
So we already
But-
know they got good limits. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But they don't know they have good limits. They don't know what their limits are.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Injury, $500,000 for property damage. I also did $500,000 for both uninsured and underinsured. I did see that it was full coverage. What type of deductibles do you guys usually go with?
We usually have 500 for collision and 250 for comp.
Okay. I'll go ahead and adjust that to get you a proper quote.
When you have somebody with high limits, don't get scared. You don't know what you're talking about. Have full confidence, because if they
Okay.
have those limits, you need to be thinking umbrella. All right, so I assume you have $1 million in general liability coverage? No, I have no idea. Why would I need that?
Yeah.
The same illustration I just put together for you for a 80,000 with somebody with state minimum, you can do the exact same thing with somebody with higher limits.
Okay.
You can even talk about. Do you remember that Lamborghini that caught fire here in like St. Louis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that person's insured that got the gas on the car was the one responsible?
I mean, yeah, he drove off right with the.
Yeah, and it spewed and it caught
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Ferrari, whatever it was, on fire. Do you know how much that claim was?
How much?
It was like 160 grand.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
Do you have enough coverage for that? Because
Me
they're not.
Personally, I don't either.
They're not. But that's a great example.
Yeah.
You
wow.
know what I'm saying? You can build that exact same scenario that I just built with you with that car accident multi-purpose. Explain that whole, hey, you detach, gas goes somewhere, catch that person's car's on fire, and then boom, they sue you
Yeah.
and come after you. But if you had a liability plan of $1 million called an umbrella,
Figured out.
you'd have protection, right?
And if you don't mind me asking what you intend to do for a living or what you guys did for a living, we do offer some occupation discounts.
Oh, she was a realtor.
Okay.
She's retired now,
Okay.
and I was in robotics.
I didn't ask for military, did I?
Well, I'm not worried
Oh,
about
okay.
that, but he hit on robotics. You might not
Okay.
realize this or not, but a lot of the time you need an advanced degree to work in robotics. Sometimes that falls into engineering, science. So just
Okay.
dig a little deeper on something like that. Oh, robotics, that's cool. Like, just you can even poke fun at it. Like, did you make little robots? Did you work on the big ones at GM? Like, how do you get into that?
Yeah.
Like right now, you're just trying to build rapport. The guy likes you because he's talking to you. Now you gotta build rapport.
I kind of feel like, with that call, he just wasn't talking much,
I know, and
so
it's
he
hard to
didn't-
do that.
Yeah.
I see that, I do, but it's like it's okay to be uncomfortable. You're uncomfortable right now in this call because he's not being
Yeah, he's like, yes,
conversational.
no, 2 words, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So you can really, that might just be his type of personality.
Okay.
He might not be being a jerk to you. This might just be his kind of personality.
Right.
So you can just have a conversation like, oh, robotics, well, that's pretty, how do you get into robotics with General Motors?
Yeah.
And just allow them to talk, like ask probing questions, try to get that rapport going.
Okay.
Chrysler.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. So I adjusted the comprehensive deductibles to $250 on all 3 vehicles, $500 for collision, and then the
Well,
$500,000.
on a Dodge minivan, I usually just carry liability on it.
Okay, so just liability on that one. Okay, let me go ahead and adjust that. Okay, adjust that. Alrighty, so for all 3 vehicles, we're looking at $177 a month, or roughly $1,064 every 6 months. How does that compare to what you guys are currently being charged?
I'm being charged like $1,570, $1,580 a year.
A year. Oh, okay.
That's
Well
it.
done. Yeah, that's an amazing rate. I'll definitely go ahead and include that in the notes, and then if we can ever beat that, that mark, we can definitely give you a call back.
So yeah, price is always going to be a factor. But in this scenario, this guy retired from General Motors and robotics. His wife is a realtor. They probably have money.
Yeah.
They probably are. Their limits reflect that they're in probably a good position. Do you think they would care to spend more to get better coverage?
No.
No, I don't think they would. But what we got to do is remember, we're not in the business of cutting people. we're in the business of revealing that they've been cut. Our job is to offer the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Okay? So what I mean by that is you have that call to action. Like, when was the last time you had to, tell me about those coverage limits. Reiterate those. Like, hit that multiple times. Like, that is so hard. And to be honest with you, a lot of people don't know. They really don't. And I mean, that is an area of vulnerability that needs to get resolved in the insurance industry, and we're the people to do that.
Yeah.
So go over those coverage. Like, tell me about your coverage limits. And if they don't know, the person that insures them, they're an asshole. Like, they should know that.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah.
They should
They're
have.
going to be mad at them. No,
Yeah,
so, yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
And illustrate it that way. Like, what do you mean they haven't taken the time to talk with you?
Okay.
Wow, we're going to fix that.
Yeah.
And use assumptive direction. Like, we're going to fix that. We're going to get that resolved today.
Okay.
I can help you with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a
Better
nice.
explain it to you. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Perfect. And that's pretty much the gist of that call. So let me pull another one here. Also, Marvin DeMole. That was a guy you had a pretty good conversation with about quoting insurance, but you didn't get the VINs. You asked him to text you. I don't know if he has.
He never did. Then I called him back.
Cool.
And he said, I'm busy with work right now. I'm going to get it to you.
Text him.
Okay.
Just text him. Say, hey, Marvin, this is Sejla over at Farmers. We talked last week. I know you've been busy. When you get a chance, can you shoot me a picture of your VINs?
Okay. Okay.
Boom.
I don't know if I texted him or not already, but yeah. He's definitely on my list still, but yeah, can we just check just out of curiosity?
Sure.
If I did text him. Like, once again, I don't want to be a pest to anybody. Like, I do.
Remember my phrase.
Yeah, I didn't text
I want to
him.
be persistent, but I don't want to be a pest.
I didn't text him. I'll text him definitely today.
It's all good.
Yep.
My job is to try to get you at your 15 to 20. If we can do that, we can get you on the financial path that you want to be on. Now, this guy right here, I think you did a really good job, and so I'm going to show you Tom and Betty, and then I'll be done with you. I'll be done with you. All right, so here we go.
Hello.
Hi, is this Tom?
Yep.
Hi, Tom. My name is Sejla. I'm with Farmers Insurance. How are you doing today?
Well, okay. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I was giving you a call. It looks like either you or Susan spoke to somebody.
You see how you transitioned that one a little quicker?
Yeah.
I like that. And believe it or not, that was earlier in the week compared to later in the week with Timothy.
Okay.
In the past on the marketing team here at Farmers, and we recently took a price decrease. Just wanted to see if we could save you guys some money on your auto insurance. We're only coming in about $139 a month.
I like how you spit out the rate, but I don't want that yet.
Okay.
I don't want the rate yet.
Okay.
That's too fast.
I don't know why I assumed that.
I think you were nervous.
Maybe.
I think you might have been nervous.
Maybe.
And that's okay. It's okay to be that way.
Yeah.
But we just got to say the right things when we're nervous. So instead of shooting out the rate, the guy, you could tell at first he was like, who's this? And then as soon as you said something, oh, I'm doing good, he's kind of letting the guard down. Guard's starting to come down a little bit. So we don't have to shoot the rate out in this scenario. What we can do is we can focus on building a little bit of rapport. Okay? So in this scenario, instead of you just shooting that out, I would really like to hear you and start to see you come to, can you tell me about your current coverage limits? I want to make sure I'm comparing things correctly here for you.
Okay.
And then get them to tell you they don't know anything about their coverages. Jump on that. How important that is. When was the last time your agent took the time to talk with you?
Okay.
Wow, man, must not be important to the agent. They don't want to talk to you. You just continue that progression. And then that assumptive, we're going to fix that today.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and get that fixed. We're going to look at this. Because I think you're there. I think you're there.
I just feel like I need to figure out what phrases to use.
Yeah.
When and
I
when
honestly think the difference from you writing like 80 policies a month and where you're at right now is a couple words. I'm not kidding.
No, I got full coverage.
Yeah,
He has
this
no
is,
idea
let
what
me
the hell
see
he's
here, to verify a few things first with you. Are you guys currently at 1305 Apple Hollow Drive?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then I have you and Susan as the drivers. I have a 2018 Nissan Sentra and a 2012 Nissan Versa. And let's see here. And this is with 250,000, 500,000 limits, 100,000 on property damage, 250, 500 for both uninsured and underinsured, and with $500 deductibles on both vehicles for both comprehensive and collision. It's roughly roughly $138 a month. How does that compare to what you're currently being charged?
It's probably a couple of $100 cheaper.
So on this one right here, we still focus on price because that's what you've been taught to do. So now we got to fix it. There's customers that you got to sell on price. There's customers where you got to sell on value. This is a customer where you got to sell on value.
Okay.
All right. So this isn't a call where you need to redo it. Come to find out later on in the call, he changed his price and this, that, and the other. But I think if we take a value-based approach on this one, you actually get a better chance to close.
Okay.
I really do. Now this one right here,
Why did, and later on in the call, why did it not work? Did we change some things, I think?
nope.
Hello? Oh, that's a lot higher than what I'm paying.
What are you currently being charged?
Yeah.
I think 500 and something every 6 months on full coverage on both cars. Everything what you just said.
Oh, okay.
250, 500.
Okay. Well, it does sound like you guys are getting a better rate than there. I'll go ahead and include that in the notes.
But see, we're so sold on price.
Right.
We are 100% sold on price in this scenario.
Yeah.
We need to really we need to sell another product is what we need to do. Even though we're higher, what we need to do is we need to add that umbrella discount, bring our auto down, make it more competitive, add an umbrella policy to it.
Maybe he did have an umbrella, you know.
Yeah, but we don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We need to focus more on building that rapport and the relationship compared to just shooting out the price for I pulled, I'd say probably 15 of your calls. Out of 15 of your calls, they're all this way. The reason I selected these ones is because they're high value.
Okay.
Where I think you could have went value based compared to pure price. Now this next one, I think you're gonna like.
Hello.
Hi, is this Betty?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Betty. My name is Sejla. I'm with Farmers Insurance. How are you doing today?
Okay.
Good. I was giving you a call. It looks like either you or Michael spoke to somebody in the marketing team here in the past, and we recently took a price decrease. Wanted to see if we could save you guys some money on your auto insurance. We were only coming in at about $85 a month.
I think I
Bam.
went with the price because she was just like, okay. Like, she was okay. You know, she didn't really, you know, she said hello, and then I asked how she doing today, and she said, okay.
Wait for more aggression.
Okay.
Wait for more aggression.
'Cause I
It's
feel-
so hard to read that, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm willing rolling the dice in a situation where you have an opportunity to build rapport.
Okay.
You got a really good feel. Don't allow the last call to affect this call.
Maybe
So,
that's a problem.
That could
Yeah.
be too.
Yeah.
But and that's the tip and trick as a salesperson. You got to learn how to turn that shit on and off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just if that last call was negative, whatever, it's out of your mind. Bam. We're not focused on. We're focused on this one right now.
Okay.
So that's hard to do. I understand that, but I'm telling you, if you make this turn, it's going to be life changing. So hear the rest of the call.
For both cars?
Yeah, I had let me just verify a few things first. 641 Merrimack Station Road, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I had Betty and Michael as the drivers.
No.
No?
No. We've been divorced since 1983.
Since 1983. Oh, okay,
Mhm.
so is it just you as a driver then, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. Exclude him. And then I had two vehicles here, 2005 Buick LeSabre and a 2002 Nissan Pathfinder.
LeSabre.
LeSabre. LeSabre. Got it.
I
Didn't
heard
know
that
that.
said. LeSabre. What the fuck is a LeSabre?
LeSabre. Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I owned a LeSabre.
Yes.
Okay. And then I see here that you have, let's see, the 100,000, 300,000 limit. So I just went ahead and did apples to apples on that for you.
Again,
I did.
she has no idea what her coverages are. Do you see the opportunity now?
Yeah, I should start asking, you know.
Yeah, because right now what we're doing is we're talking 70% of the time, and if we can change that to where you're actually talking 30% of the time, and the time that you're talking, it's like high value. Bam, you're hitting, you're making them think, you're making them ask questions, making them answer questions.
Right.
Talk about their coverage limits. Talk about, scenarios. Talk about, you on this one. I mean, you were one of the best at asking what people do for a living. I mean, you have not missed on pretty much all of them. I pulled all of your calls. You're not missing the affinity, but what we're missing is a huge opportunity to really have a call to action by asking them about their current coverage limits.
Okay.
Tell me about your current coverage limits. Oh, I got full coverage. Oh, okay, that's cool. I actually mean your bodily injury limits, not your actual deductibles. What is your coverage limits?
Okay.
Oh, I have no idea. What? Well, that's extremely important. Like, if you're involved in a car accident and you don't have the right kind of limits, you're the one left liable.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example.
I was gonna say, if they were to say, "Oh, I have 50,000, 100,000," I guess how should I go off with that? Like, oh,
You know what?
when's the last time that was reviewed with your
Perfect.
agent? Or?
So look at this. So here's this customer right now. That's Mooney. So let's go ahead and pull up Betty. Let's pull up Betty. All right, so Betty. All right, so here's the auto, the one you ran on the 31st. All right, so we got two vehicles at 100,000, 300,000. Okay, that's not a bad coverage limit,
Okay.
but just increase it. We're at $85 a month. Check this out. The jump to go from 100, 300 to 250, 500.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
so minimal. And Sejla, we can do this on every freaking call, and it's only like $5 more. Let me ask you, would you pay extra for something that's better?
Yes.
So will the customer. They just don't know. They don't know that there's better coverage available at what they're paying.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, if you position that, you get that call to action, you double their coverage. You didn't improve, you doubled it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if you end up pitching just a small scenario, it doesn't have to be a drawn out 5-minute thing, but just illustrate a scenario. Think of one that works for you, that would be easy for you to click and get out.
Okay.
Give that scenario and have them do the math.
Okay.
And so like I said, so in this situation, 100,000, 300,000. A few years ago, one of our insurers was going down 270. They were involved in a multi-vehicle accident. A couple people were kind of banged up a little bit. I mean, as you can imagine, it's highway speeds that could happen. Now, we had our insured at 100,000, 300,000. We had our insured at 250,000, 500,000. Okay. We had one person that had about $115,000 in bodily injury damage. We had another person with another. We extinguished at 300,000 really fast. Let me ask you this: if that same scenario happened to you, and you only had $100,000 in coverage, and you had to pay out $150,000, how much are you on the hook for?
Right. Yeah. 50,000.
50,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't have that laying around. Do you? I know, right? So let's get that fixed. Let's make sure that doesn't happen to you. We're going to take care of that for you. Bam.
Okay.
You give that price where you doubled their coverage. You know what I'm saying? That's a call to action right
Yeah.
there. They're like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I need to improve my insurance.
With $500 deductibles on both, were you wanting full coverage on both vehicles?
Yes.
Okay. And then let's see here. If you don't mind me asking what you do for a living, we do offer certain occupation discounts here at
Depot.
Farmers.
I'm a customer service at Home Depot.
Okay. Let's see here. And now, do you own or do you rent?
Rent. I own.
You own. Okay. So this is with the auto and the home bundle discount. We're coming in roughly about $85, $85.60 a month. Yeah.
How different of this call if it's $91.37, you doubled the coverage? What do you think?
Possibly would have won it. Yeah.
You possibly could have. Now here,
Yeah.
this is the part that should make you
$86
happy,
a month.
because you get to follow up with this.
Okay. What for the house?
And for the house, I don't have the home quoted up here. I can get that quoted
Well,
up for you.
they
Did
emailed
you want me
it
to
all
keep
to
you on the
her.
line or give you a call back, or I could email it all to you?
Yeah. Why don't you email it to me?
Yeah. What's a good email address for you?
All lowercase Betty Halker,
Okay.
BETTYHALKER at netscape.net.
You said at Netscape?
Netscape.net.
Scape. And is that just net SCAPE or?
NETSCAPE.
Okay. Alrighty. I'll go ahead and quote that up for you and get this.
And that's how the call finishes up. So that one you can actually call in today, and they have this. They have these phrases that I never even thought about using. So you can give her a call and say, "Hey Betty, it's Sejla with Farmers Insurance. I was thinking about our last call, and I wanted to touch base on a couple things. So you can, yeah, sure, what'd you have? You know, I was going over the coverage limits and I feel like we were priced pretty competitively, but I really got to thinking about your coverage limits, and with you owning your house, I'd really recommend you increasing the coverage limits that you had from 100,000, 300,000 to 250, 500. You essentially double the coverage, and it's only $91.37 a month. I have that home also, prepared. I have it sent to you. Do you have a quick minute so we can kind of go through that?
Okay.
See if you get anywhere. What's the worst thing they can say?
Right.
No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would give that a shot. See what you can do. I think if you can implement some of that, you don't have to do everything line by line,
Right.
but just take a little bit here and there. I really want to hear you
Be able
start.
to call out and
I
start
really
doing that.
want to hear you start talking about coverage limits.
Okay.
Talk about coverage limits. Get them realizing that they're underinsured. Double it on every scenario.
Okay.
Well, you really can't with 500, but you only have one of those.
Yeah.
So anybody that's 100, 300, 250, 500. Anybody that's 250, 500, 500, 500. Anybody that's 25, 50, 50, 100. Take them up a limit.
Okay.
That way we continually stop selling on price, and now we're selling on we're double the coverage.
Right.
Well, yeah, we're going to be a little bit more expensive, but I mean, build that illustration. What happens if you're
Break it
involved
out
in a
a
car accident and there's $75,000? You only have $50,000 in coverage. How much are you left on the hook for?
Yeah.
$25,000.
Scare them a little bit.
Well, yeah. Again, we're not in the business of cutting people. We're just in the business of revealing they've been cut. Our
Yeah.
job's to offer the Band-Aid.
Yep. I like that. I'll start doing that.
Cool.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.